What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a new introductory video. This is my top 10 favorite games of all time, and let's hope you enjoy the content. And if you would like and subscribe if you want, and that would be really appreciated. So yeah, let's get right into it. At number 10 spot, we have Detroit Become Human. Detroit Become Human was amazing. The story kept me involved for hours, and there were certain choices that went to the good or bad ending, which I love both those endings. And the characters felt really dynamic, and they grew over the story, and I really felt like they were actually alive because they're androids in the game. And I think the developers actually did a really good job compared to a lot of their other ones like Heavy Rain and all the other ones that they've made. And I think the relationship that the characters had were very interesting to me, and that it was very unique to itself. And that's basically all I have to say about number 10. And at number 9, we kind of have a classic here. Anybody who grew up in like the 2000s knew about Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Well, in the late 2000s at least. And like I didn't expect to put this game on here, but this game like had my entire childhood in it. And like I would spend hours every day like replaying every movie trying to get the 100%, which I never could. And I would try and unlock each character. And I gotta say, if you haven't played it in a while, or you've never played it, it'll give you a little bit of nostalgia, like for Star Wars movies and just Star Wars in general. But yeah, I really recommend all you play it, because it's a very fun story. And at number 8, we have Days Gone. Days Gone was a very simple, complex story that was really much about, like, getting over your past and, like, just rediscovering your future. And I know a lot of glitches drew a lot of people away from this game, but the story had captivated me all the way through, and I've gotten 100% on that game, and it was amazing, and the horrors were so fun, and all the guns in there had a lot of unique abilities, and Deacon had a great chemistry with Booze and Sarah. It really felt like they were actually a family, and that they actually lost each other for a certain amount of time, and that they knew each other for years. And that's all I have to say about Days Gone. It's just a really good game. And at number 7, we have Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Now, this is probably the best Star Wars game I've ever played, even if it has a couple of glitches. But even with those, the game doesn't really stop you from having so much fun with the Force abilities and the lightsaber customization, and the boss battles were really nice. And I think the character Cal was really nice too. I think he had a nice connection with the rest of the characters, especially Marin. Anybody who plays that game knows about that. And yeah, I'm probably not going to talk anymore. So that's it for number 7. And at number 6, we have Infamous Second Son. Now, this was my first introduction to the Infamous series. Overall, the powers were well developed. The only thing I wish that the developers did was make the characters better and make the game longer. But bad things aside, it was a really great exclusive that I recommend a lot of people play. And that's kind of all I have to say about Infamous Second Son right there. And at number 5, we have Spider-Man Miles Morales. When the trailer came out for this game, me and my brother were a little bit skeptical, but overall, it was a really great experience. Like, don't get me wrong, it's nowhere near a Spider-Man 2, but it stood alone as its own game that thrives as something that you don't really need a recap for. The game perfectly encapsulated how a modern teen is now. Overall, I would definitely recommend it to a lot of people that don't know the character, or anybody that doesn't really play Spider-Man a lot. And at number 4, we have Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. I got this game with my PS4 Slim back in 2016, but I never really played it until 2019, When I did play it, I had no idea what I was doing, but I did know that I was having a really great time playing it. I then probably played it about 9 more times. Uh, Nolan North and Troy Baker's performances were very good and still probably the best they've ever been together, beside probably like The Last of Us, which they weren't really in that much. And at number 3, we have Spider-Man PS4. Ever since I saw this trailer in 2018, I knew that this game would be good, but the game subverted my expectations and was actually better than I would have ever thought. Peter and his villains are actually pretty well written, and had real flaws. Peter Parker feels like an actual adult with real problems, and I'm so glad that they sacrificed Aunt May because of One More Day, where he basically sacrificed, well, he sold his soul to Mephisto to get Aunt May back, and that he could basically live with her forever, basically. And I'm glad that he has such great chemistry with all the other characters, and the actors are actually doing a really good job. And I'm glad that Insomniac Games actually picked it up because Ratchet and Clank was actually really good. I played some of them, and that's all I have for number 3. And at number 2, we have The Last of Us Part 2. And before you start sharpening your knives, I can see why people don't like this game, but I love this game all the way through. I was not mad when Ellie didn't kill Abby, and you probably shouldn't either, because it was never a story about revenge, it was a story about forgiveness. And, well, pitchforks aside, I think we can all agree that we all found this game enjoyable in some way, and in my opinion, the story and the characters made me enjoy the game more. Ellie, I think, was really good, and I think Joel dying made the story a lot better, because I think Joel kind of needed to die for the story to actually continue. And that's all I have to say about Last of Us Part 2. And at number 1, we have The Last of Us. I don't even know where to begin with this. The story and the characters are beyond what I thought they could be. The story blew me away when I first played it. The characters were so drawn out, and even when Naughty Dog split half the studio to make Uncharted 3 and The Last of Us, I really think they did a good job. And I'm going to say how I got into this. The Last of Us. I watched an Austin Evans video, and he was talking about how good it was. So I decided to watch a playthrough of it, and then I played it myself. And that's absolutely how I got into it. And The Last of Us will always be in my number 1 spot, probably until a better game comes out. And I don't know how, but who knows? There might be one.